American football brought a Hard Times article to life. This is 704 West High Street in Urbana, Illinois, or you may know it simply as the American Football House. An image of this house was used as the cover art for the iconic 1999 debut LP for the influential Midwest emo band known as American Football. 24 years later, in May of 2023, the band ended up buying the house. The emo community rejoiced. That immense excitement would suddenly sodden a year later in August of 2024 when the band announced that the house is going to be used officially as an Airbnb. When fans first saw the headline, they justifiably thought that it was a Hard Times article, but I'm here to tell you that this is no parody. It feels to me that any decision that would give fans access to this house would be seen as a home run, but that doesn't really seem to be the case. People are seemingly split down the middle on this one. So let's take a look at the listing, let's add some context, let's see what's really going on here, and to see if this is actually good news. And let's turn that comment section into a circle pit. I'm gonna need to hear everybody's opinion on this matter. This is the most important subject of the year. If you're not letting your voice be heard on this topic, then you really are being left behind. Okay, here's the listing. Welcome to the historic West Urbana neighborhood of Urbana, Illinois. Whether you're here to draw inspiration from the musical origins of the 131-year-old home or bask in the quiet comfort of a tree-lined brick street, the American Football House offers a unique and memorable stay. The quaint 2-story, 3-bedroom house is a short 3-block walk from campus and has been recently remodeled. Our story. 704 West High Street is a single-family home nestled on a tree-lined brick street in the historic West Urbana neighborhood of Urbana, Illinois. The white clapboard house, built in 1893, has housed local families and students for over a century, and its location is just off campus of the University of Illinois. In 1999, local artist and 704 West High Street resident Chris Strong photographed the front facade of the house. Later that year, local band American Football would use that photo as the cover of their debut record. In the 25 years since American Football's debut release album, this unassuming home has famously become a monument to not only the band, but every fan who listened to their era-defining album that has cemented its quaint exterior as iconic Midwest imagery. Oh my God. A carved X once marked the spot on the sidewalk where Strong stood to take the original photo, and fans of the band have since stood there themselves to recreate it. Throughout its storied history, 704 West High Street has housed decades of house parties and punk shows all around the property, from the now bygone half-pipe in the backyard to the low-ceilinged basement and everywhere in between. It was even rebuilt digitally inside of Minecraft as the official venue for the first virtual concerts during the COVID-19 pandemic, bringing people together at a time where they simply couldn't otherwise. In May 2023, the property was purchased by the members of American Football, as well as Chris Strong, Polyvinyl Records, Open House Contemporary, and Atiba Jefferson to protect the house from developers and potential demolition. The love and attention bestowed upon this humble 3-bedroom dwelling over the years has made the American Football House more special than we ever could have imagined. By preserving the 130-plus-year-old house and opening it up to artists, creative retreats, events, and nightly stays, we hope this indelible space will continue to inspire others for many years to come, right here in the community that gave shape to its unique legacy. That's it, okay? That's the listing. It's the American Football House. They sure did have a lot to say about it. The common arguments and complaints that I'm seeing online isn't about the long-winded description over here. No. It's about zoning. It's about property values. It's about the evils of Airbnb themselves, and not to mention NIMBYism. We'll get into that in just 1 second. None of that, by the way, I'm really smart enough to comment on in any significant way. I am, however, smart enough to know that if Airbnb is buying up a bunch of houses just to rent them to people and people can't live inside of them, then that's a bad thing. You can't really be taking houses away from people. That seems evil and greedy, does it not? And then that silly word you heard me say earlier, NIMBYism. What could that even be? I'm no expert over here on NIMBYism, but apparently it's the concept of people wanting stuff built, but just not around them, okay? They see the value in the thing, just don't do it around them. I think like a common example would be like wind turbines or whatever. Airbnb also deals with criticisms because they allow listings in occupied Palestinian territories, and after announcing that they're going to remove 200 of these listings, they reversed their decision, showing that they are knowingly complicit in Israel's occupation. I'm no genius, but all of that seems really bad and like a valid enough reason to boycott Airbnb and to kind of be a little bit annoyed that American football is getting into bed with them. And with all of that floating around, it's pretty easy to predict that people are just gonna rent this house to trash it. I call those people degenerates. Don't do this loser ass kind of behavior, okay? I saw a couple people posturing in the Reddit. You're not cool. I don't know much more about those academic topics more than I already presented. But as far as a small business goes, this would have been so much cooler if it was like a DIY mom and pop type thing. Had they just registered like a bed and breakfast business themselves, it would see them having a direct, hands-on approach to the preservation that they seem to be so keen on. Imagine being able to rent this place, go to bed, wake up to an omelet being flipped by Mike Kinsella. That would be so sick. But that is not the reality. American football are going to be nowhere near the house, okay? You can just pay some app on your phone, whatever, to go stay there. If they kept this business all in-house, yes, pun intended, then the optics of this whole thing would have been so much better. But I don't know, man. Maybe it's just the direct tie to Airbnb that's kind of rubbing everybody the wrong way, me included. And you know, I know it's easier probably to do the Airbnb thing, streamline the whole thing. It's easier for the people. It's easier for the band. They get to support the band. It's all good, right? And if that's your take, cool, but it does just seem a little bit weird, especially for a DIY emo band from the 90s. You can now stay in their album cover. My mind is blowing. I will say, however, people have been traveling to this property for years on their own emo pilgrimages, and now that there's an official direct way that they can interact with the property, that's got to be seen as kind of a cool thing, right? Because I know if I was traveling through whatever area this is, Urbana, Illinois, I would definitely be looking up to see if this house was available. I'm not above it. It sucks that this is the avenue that they set up to get access to the house, but this is what they did. So if this house means something to you, you can go see it, and you will be supporting the band. So it could be seen as a win-win if you just kind of look the other way, maybe do a little bit of coping. It's cool that the band has control over the house, and maybe I'll be able to kind of lean into the absurdity of the meme that American football turned a Hard Times article into real life. I asked my Instagram followers what they thought of this story, and as predicted, everybody was split right down the middle. Some were like, I'm gonna book this right away, and the others were like, this is the grossest, most egregious thing I've ever seen. Take this away from my eyes right now. But what do you think of this? Would you stay there? Do you think that this is cool? Do you even care? Either way, let me know down below. And after you leave your comment that the algorithm loves so much, go reply to somebody else's comment. Let's get some conversations going. Okay, thank you so much for watching. I've been Dan Frampton, American Football House. See you later.